listening to the Liquid Shape Podcast with your host, Cody Perez.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Liquid Shape Podcast with Cody Perez. And today I am excited to have my guest here, who, like myself, is very opinionated and speaks his mind, Mr. Phil Stengel from Halo Touring. What's going on, brother?
I'm good. How are you, Cody?
I'm doing great. I'm excited about this episode. I've been looking forward to it. As soon as I started this podcast, I knew I had to have you on here because I constantly see your posts and I'm like, you know what? A lot of people, especially a lot of my musician friends, can learn a thing or two from you, probably a lot more than two things. And so go ahead and tell everybody, introduce yourself and tell them a little bit about who you are, what you do, and we'll go from there.
I'm a very opinionated asshole that's fond of myself. No. Well, I own Halo Touring, which is an international boutique booking agency. I've been in the music industry for more years than I'd like to admit. Been a promoter. I do a bunch of things. Learned since the 90s of how to do this shit by making failures, failing, learning the correct way of doing it, seeing what not to do. And you basically learn from it. And you see people make some of the same mistakes. I think one mistake I see a lot of people make consistently in the music industry, especially what I deal with rappers, is I'm talented, so I deserve to be paid. Cool. You think you're talented? Well, guess what, bud? Everybody thinks they're fucking talented. Talent is self-perceived, but if you're not actually having fans, and the world doesn't think you're talented, that's the difference. And talent doesn't pay the bills. And I wish it did. Like, damn, I'd be fucking richer than Mr.
What's up? So right now, what artists would you say you work with right now that are like top names that people would recognize, or who are some people, like some of your top clients that you have?
Shaggy Tito from the Insane Clown Posse. Everybody knows who he is. Let me see. Book Nathan James. We book for Vito, Skits Craven, Sky Daddy, Finesse 2 times. I mean, I used to book when I worked at Satellite Touring and booked for Soldier Boy, book for Fix. It depends on the genre, because I mean, it really depends on the genre that you're in. I mean, book for, as you know, American Overdose. It really depends on the genre. Like, it depends what you're into, to be honest with you. But I mean, it's depending. There isn't really a difference on who you book versus the results. The industry is the same. Doesn't matter the genre. Genre is just your fans.
I was gonna say it seems like a lot of the same people are the people that run things. So like regardless if you're booking rap or rock or country or whatever, everyone knows each other, and a lot of the people share agents even if they're in different genres of music. Is that
correct? Because you have Washerman, bigger agencies, the biggest agencies in the world. You have Washerman, you have UTA, you have CAA, you have William Morris Agency, and you have Carol Lewis. And Mac Agency. And then if you look at UTA, for example, United Talent Agency, they book a lot of the rock, and they book a lot of the rap, and they book pop, and they book for comedy. I mean, I have roster right here pulled up. If you go to roster, everybody's gonna have to take my word because you can't see my screen. Sorry, guys.
Someday I'll get to video.
Oh, no, I mean, you would never get me on video. So if you go to like William Morris, well, give me a band. Give me a band off the top of your head. Give me an artist.
Bad Omens, since I listen to them a lot, or Papa Roach.
There's a Papa Roach. Okay, so Papa Roach. Papa Roach is booked by Washerman Agency. Cool. So in America, worldwide outside of Canada. So when you go to Washerman, because now we have an agency, Washerman books for Kendrick Lamar, Ed Sheeran, SZA, Coldplay, David Guetta, Travis Scott, Calvin Harris, Future.
It's like everywhere. That's like everywhere. That's like that you just touched all those genres are pretty much are different. Like
100%. Yeah, this is their agency roster. Imagine Dragons, Marshmello guy, Alex Warren, Tyler the Creator, Rain, Shawn Mendes, Don Omar, The Neighborhood, Daniel, Ciez. I mean, they have 500 plus artists on their roster. Ty Dollar Sign. They even have fucking country people on here. If I dug down deep enough. I mean, UTA is more of an example. Like the book Jack Harlow. Like if you go to UTA, for example, United Talent Agency, I know they book a lot of country. And then with them, their top artist is Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
And then it goes Chris Brown, Lil Wayne, Rayul. Okay, it's a Latin reggaeton artist, and I don't speak Spanish, so I'm not even going to try to pronounce it.
I love that stuff, the reggaeton.
Yeah, it's Rauw, Alejandro, what's his name? Nicki Minaj. Do they book any fucking Guns N' Roses? Flow Rider. They don't have any Christina Aguilera. I don't see any country on here, but they book country too.
They're all. That sounds like they're all over. So let's start from the very beginning. Like, what got you into booking? Were you previously? Because I don't know this. Were you originally a musician, or like what?
Hell
What
no,
was
I
it about
don't-
booking?
Fuck no, I don't make fucking music. I was a promoter since the '90s. Grew up in the punk rock hardcore scene. We did the little DIY show shit. We all know
Out of
what
where?
it is. Washington.
Washington, Seattle area, or
Oh, no, little town in the middle of fucking nowhere, dude. First show I went to ever seen in my life was the fucking Ricketts. Like,
shit?
if you know, you know. You don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
The Ricketts. So, punk rock legends from Washington. But yeah, no, I grew up in the punk rock scene back when we had fucking zines and house shows, and that was the shit what we grew up on. And like, threw those back in the day, and then getting older, in my early 28, 18, 19 or whenever, fucking took a job interning or helping out or whatever at the Meow Meow. If you're old enough to remember that.
I remember that venue. Changed names a lot, it seemed like.
Yeah, Todd, nice Christian guy. Todd's like a devout Christian too, which is really funny. I owned a fucking, like, not to get in religion, but I owned a fucking goddamn venue that like Hatebreed would perform at. Like a devout Christian, like what the fuck, dude. Did punk rock, and then went from that, moved over to rap, hip hop in the 2000s, because like, I mean, if you're familiar with the punk rock scene at all in that time frame, and the reason that I got into punk is I felt that I fit punk better than punk fit me. UTA also books for Dolly Parton, by the way. I felt I fit punk better than it fit me, but then when I was living in Southern California, when you're going to shows and show shit and all the show stuff, it's like, cool, yeah, we're going to change the world, fuck the system. Like, all the things that punk stood for, but when you go to a fucking show, everybody's like, let's get drunk, let's drink some more, drink. And like, that was the whole vibe of everything. And like, I'm more straight edge. I mean, I'm not straight edge per se, but I don't drink. Like, so it wasn't like an interest of mine.
Yeah.
And they act all fucking weird about it. Then it was just like, I seen a rapper named Immortal Technique I was listening to, which was just you got these guys that are like, in punk, like, I mean, fuck it. I mean, I'll piss people off. I'll drop names. Like the Lower Class Brats, the Casualties, the Virus, like all these spiky hair punk guys are talking about they hate the system and they're going to change the world, this and that, but they didn't do anything. But then you have guys like, at that time, I was listening to like Immortal Technique I discovered and Low Key from the UK and guys like that are like, yeah, I just took the money off my album and I'm building an orphanage in Africa and a school. I'm building an orphanage in Afghanistan. People that are actually really trying to change the world.
Doing something.
Yeah, instead of saying, I'm going to change the world because I don't agree with how the things are with the system, but instead I'm just going to drink. And that was like the whole punk culture. So at that point, I was just like, this shit really isn't like fitting to me. And then the whole conformity of things of like where at that time, if you don't have neon spiky fucking hair, you ain't punk, and I'm more punk than you, and blah, blah, blah. I mean, I don't really fuck with that scene anymore. Like, even though my favorite band, Blood for Blood, is back together. Like, I mean, anybody that listens to your podcast knows about old school punk. Like, my childhood died, bro, when Steve Ignorant from the Crass fucking toured America with a bunch of 20-year-old kids across Live Nation. Like, the revolutionary anarcho-punk band from the 70s that we all listened to. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I was like, oh, hell no. But no, I was living in Southern California and started booking rap shows, gangster rap shows, of like real gangsters, because no one would book them.
Yeah.
Like, straight up dudes that really about that life. And then sometime I took a break from it, got back into it, started doing shit with the Paris or whatever in Portland, because I took this long promoter break, because it just eats at you after a while. You only could lose so much money and take so many L's before you're like, fuck this ain't fucking worth it. And I got back, started doing it with them, which was cool, doing shows again. And then I had a friend, it's no longer my friend, it was like, he made some deal with X-Rated, who's like this legendary gangster rapper from California.
Yep, I'm familiar with him. He was in jail at one point, right, when he was writing an album.
He did 27 years in fucking prison for murder and got it on a federal appeal.
Damn.
And I was told that I was booking X's tour, and I've never booked a tour in my life. And then I was just like, because I have all this experience as a promoter, I'm like, oh, this is going to be so hard. But it's just finding the promoters, communicating with them. And I know, like, from dealing with being a promoter, how they think about shit. I mean, the hardest part of it was to explain to them how a guy that did 27 years in prison for murder wasn't going to bring any issues to their fucking menu.
Yeah, I mean, I can just imagine that the rap shows probably have like they request a big insurance policy on them, because I know, like, even with metal, there's been venues that requested like $1 million. I'm like, what?
Yeah, venues should, but a lot of them don't, because a lot of these places just don't fucking care. That's why, like, this one venue in Indiana, some girl brought a porcelain knife in her hair. Like, you heard that right? A porcelain knife.
Oh my God.
A
What?
ceramic knife. It wasn't porcelain, it was ceramic. And some dude got stabbed to death in there. So shit like that happens with rap. Rap is probably one of the worst genres to book. I mean, the money's nice, but the problem, genre-wise, speaking of this, bands will go out and the band will do a show and be happy to get like $1,500. Rappers are complaining about not getting 20 grand because when you cross the lines between rap and a band, a rapper can go to a fucking nightclub and they'll pay him like 20 grand just to sit up there and do 3 fucking songs the girls to shake their ass to.
With the backing track, and that they usually don't even have to split between a whole
Yeah,
band.
exactly. Yeah. And that's what they're used to getting. So they're used to getting like this club money. And then when you get into the country rap lane, which is even funnier, is they're used to doing these big mud parks and getting like ridiculous mud park money because it's not a hard ticketed show. It's more like a festival, and they overpay, and you get fans that are overpay. And it's always rap. Like with bands, I mean, it's a lot harder. Like one of the rappers I book for rap groups, they wanted to book your friend Waylon's band, Killer Confession. And I looped them in with Andrew at TKO, which was their agent at the time. And they never even got to book Killer's Confessions. Andrew's like, who have you booked? Like, that's the agent's first question. Is like, who the fuck have you booked? we're fans and we're in a group. He's like, yeah, I'm good. Like, I'm not entertaining this shit. But if it was a rapper situation, that might have been entertained. And bands have stricter requirements too. It's like a rapper will get up to a backing track and rap over his own fucking vocals and be like, cool, where's my paycheck?
And it has to make sense too. Like if you're going to bring someone on that maybe in a different genre, but you guys have a similar style of audience, that makes sense and it's a good way to blend. But if you guys are completely different audiences and it doesn't make sense, why do it? It has to make sense for both parties.
The reason they were trying to do it was because they have a festival they do, and they're trying to get into the metal scenes where they're trying to get into. They're trying to do this crossover, but they're all like metal heads, but they play in a rap group. So like that was the whole reason they were trying to book them, because like big fans. But it was just like Andrew wasn't entertaining at all. Like, I'm not going to sell a metal show to a bunch of artists. No, if it was a rap show, like me speaking as an agent, I might entertain it. It depends. I have several clients that are like, some random fan hit me up and like, I want you to book this, and it's a fucking shit show every time. Every time it is, and the fan always overpays. So they're paying like, I don't know, $5,000-$6,000 for a fucking private meet and greet just to annoy their favorite rapper.
I was going to ask about that. So I know in the rock world, that's very popular where people can get the VIP treatments, get on the buses, whatever. Are the rappers doing that too? Are they doing the VIP?
Yeah, rap is like notorious for it. It's like they won't sign your dude. Let me tell you the difference between rap and rock in this aspect. I'm assuming most people listen to your podcasts from the metal world, right, or the band world.
Well, I'm hoping that with this podcast, what we're going to do is we're going to expand to a vast majority of people, not even just musicians, but just people all over. So we'll see.
Okay. So here's the thing. Since you're in a band, so some of the major difference with rap, pay to play is normal and accepted straight up. There's no moaning like, oh my God, I gotta, like, bands are like, I don't want to sell tickets. Like, I'm never going to fucking pay to be on a show. You got me fucked up. Rap's like, how much? I want fucking $1,500 for this guy to open for me for 10 fucking minutes. And they pay it hand over fist.
Wow.
And then when it comes to the meet and greet, yeah, every single one of them, a lot of them, not every single, a lot of them do the meet and greets, $75. You come, and it's so fucking stupid because you come and you take a picture with them and talk to them for like fucking 2 minutes and walk off. That's all it is. Like, that's what they literally pay to get a picture with.
Yeah.
In fact, speaking as a promoter and an agent, Chuck, Artist Worldwide Chuck. I like Chuck. Shout out. He books for a Powerman 5000, and he talked me into booking them, and I didn't know who the fuck they were. I booked them for a show. And it was the funniest thing ever because I was just like, oh, the show's over there on their last song. They're going to do their meet and greet. And the lead singer-sider's all like, yeah, thank you, everybody. Have a good night. And out the back door he was and never seen again. That's all it was. Like, I was like, where the fuck did he go? He was gone.
Yeah. I mean, that does happen. Hopefully somebody got to meet him and paid for it like earlier in the day or something.
Oh, no, there was no meet and greet at all. It was nothing like that. Like, I thought they were like, they just did, because rappers will do their own meet and greets. Not through the venue, but through the artist, and they just don't do that. Like, he didn't do that. And I'm used to seeing like every single rap show, like when you deal with the rap tour, it's like, I want a meet and greet. I want openers to buy onto my shit. I want the after party. I want this. I want that. Well, can you make a video the promoters ask for? God, do I have to? Jesus.
I've always found it weird depending on what you're offering. But I've always found it weird when artists that are playing like the small bars, small clubs, they don't really even have like a guardrail between the stage and the crowd, and they're just going to go after they're done playing or before the show. They're just going to go over to the merch booth anyways and be there and meet people. I always find it weird when they offer the VIP and charge somebody like $250, $300, $400, whatever for a meet and greet, when your casual everyday Billy Bob that walks through and goes to the merch will get to meet them without paying that money and get the picture, get the signature and whatnot. I feel like that's kind of a ripoff to the fans when they do that, unless they do something special, like where I've seen artists that are playing those small clubs where they're like, all right, you're going to go on our bus. We're going to hang out there and we might have pizza there for you. And then we're going to give you the special poster that's limited that no one else is going to have access to. You're going to get a guest pass.
Well, that don't happen in rap at all.
I didn't think it did, but I'm just saying, like, that's what I've noticed, that with the smaller, with just bands in general, I always feel like it's kind of a ripoff when bands do the meet and greet and that's all you're getting. When the fans are going to get to meet you anyways, if you're going to go to the merch booth anyways after you get done playing, because you're trying to sell merch. So it's like, why rip off your fans like that when you know you're going to meet them anyways? At least offer them something extra that they're going to get to go home with, that the regular people that just met you at the merch booth.
Well, rappers don't go to the merch booth. That's one thing you'll see. They have a merch person, but they never go to the merch booth. Most of them don't.
You think they would? Because I know that with rap, it's like, you would think like they're hustlers. I've seen them out when I've gone down to California and I'm out like on the boardwalks and whatnot. Like some of them do hustle, dude. They'll come up to you and they'll put on they have their big old headphones that put them on your head and they'll say, here's my album. Check it out. $5. And then if you put it in your hands, if you grab it, you bought it. So you got to hand over the $5. And then they take Venmo, they take cash, they'll take whatever. And it's like, wow, this person's hustling.
I got a funny story for you on that. So I told you I used to do gangster rap shows in California. There's this legendary gangster rapper from San Diego, California named Big June. Super blood, straight up fucking legend down there. And I was down in San Diego with my girl down there. And this guy was like, hey, I got trying to buy his CD. And I said, no, I'm good. And he's like, man, come on, man. I got a show with Big June at this venue, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I know Big June. He's like, nah, you don't know Big June. I fucking FaceTime Big June. I'm like, yo, dude says he got a show with you. And he like, let me see him. I put the flip the phone around. He goes,
yep.
Who the fuck are you, blood? He didn't even know who the fuck dude was. He's like,
out?
Who the fuck are you? Yeah.
Damn.
He's like, wait, that's crazy. You really know Big June. I'm like, yeah, it's my guy. I've known him like 20 fucking years.
You never know who knows who.
Yeah, it's a very small industry, as you said. That is definitely true. People don't understand that. And then when you burn bridges on it, that's one thing artists don't understand is when you start burning bridges, like everybody talks to each other. That's the problem. Like everybody does. Everybody knows each other. Like on the booking side, it's very small community. It's like how like local bands all know each other. That's how it is on the booking side. We all know each other.
Yeah,
we don't like each other.
I was gonna say it's probably like a real cutthroat thing too, like with trying to outbid each other.
No, it's a common courtesy on the booking side as an agent. Like if I had a band that approached me and was like, "Hey, I want you to book us. I'm not happy with my agent." Like the first thing I'm gonna do is call their agent and be like, "Hey, just so you know, they hit me up. So hopefully they can resolve the problem." That's normally what happens because at the end of the day, artists will they switch their agents all the time. They fire them, people quit, and they move on. But they try not to really burn bridges on it because everybody really does talk. I mean, I ain't gonna say a name, but there's a certain country rapper who had an $8 million tour booked or an $18 million tour, who went on to Instagram or Facebook Live and said, y'all want to be mad about something? Tour's canceled. Now you can be fucking mad. And that's how the agent found out the tour was canceled.
Damn.
No one will touch him with a 100-foot pole. He's beefing with Jelly Roll and all these other people. And then the other day, I seen him on his fucking Instagram to where he said, y'all get mad that I say the N-word with the A? And he said it. Followed by, well, fuck you, busted face hard R's, and said that too.
Damn.
And like, I mean, to be honest with you, his average gross box office is $350,000, but no one wants to touch him or deal with it because of all the bullshit that comes with it. You said, I'll give you a good example that everybody will know. So, Kanye West. No one will book Kanye. No one will touch Kanye. Live Nation may have him blacklisted. I can't confirm that. But no one will book Kanye. No one will touch Kanye, the biggest agencies in the world. Kara Lewis, who books for Eminem, dropped Kanye West. Kanye West is a multi-million-dollar artist. I think we can all agree on that.
Oh, yeah.
No one will book him, though, because of the stain and reputation that Kanye has. And all the anti-Semitic racist shit he says, well.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, that's what it is like an example of everybody talking, where if you're too much of a liability, no one's going to touch it.
So an artist like Kanye, though, technically, if he really wanted to, he can go rent out a venue and hire his own people that...
Nope, won't even, those venues are owned by Live Nation. They won't even rent it.
Okay, so, but if he was out, let's say he rented a property and said, all right, I'm going to get my own gear out here. I'm going to get my own whatever.
He could do that, yeah.
I was going to say that he could technically do that and make probably a lot of money because of the fact that now the demand is high to see him. It seems like the crazier shit that Kanye West says, the more people want to go listen to his music, buy his stuff, and follow what he's doing and waiting to see what he says next. I personally like the older stuff that he had. I didn't care for the newer stuff that he was coming out with. And then once he started like ranting and raving, all this crazy stuff, I'm all for people speaking their minds and whatnot. But once you start getting to a point where it's like, okay, I don't really believe that you really think that, but the fact that you're saying that, I've just lost respect for you because now you have no credibility. Like, what do you really stand for? What do you really believe?
I'm going to make you lose more respect. No, not for me. Don't worry. So, you know that stupid song he released, his new single?
I haven't heard it, no. I haven't heard Kanye in a long time.
Okay. So I don't know if you're going to have to censor this next part out. So he released a song called Hail Hitler. Like, no joke.
Shit.
Yeah, it's a Jewish person telling you this too. So the craziest part of it is because fucking Kanye, who cares? If you actually look at the writing credits for that song, Dave Blunt's the fat kid that's like just started blowing up last year. That's like, I just can't put down the cup. I can't put down the cup. He's the guy who wrote the fucking song.
Damn.
Yeah, his career just starting into that. But then they put him on Rolling Loud, and when he was on Rolling Loud, because he was at a bigger agency, he was at one of the biggest agencies, they dropped him. At Rolling Loud, he told the whole crowd to scream the N-word when he says it with the hard R. He don't give a fuck. I mean, he said that several times in his music. So it's a real small industry. Yeah, people do dumb shit all the time. I mean, like, let's talk from the rock band thing, what I barely know about. Remember Trapped?
Yep. Everyone knows who that band is.
Like, I booked them as a promoter because the agent was like, hey, I need you to take a door deal. And they're doing an acoustic thing. That's all they take, and they make money. I mean, I didn't have no issues with the guy, per se. I found out why they got canceled for what he said. But that dude really was in the comments just fucking punching down on people all over the event. Like, I was like, this guy's a bigger dick than me. Like, he was arguing with people on the internet in the fucking comments to the ad from the Trap page.
I'll be honest, dude. I do the same on the American Overdose page. I will go on there and I was just actually made a post this morning about that. I love going on there and fighting with the trolls because it just helps the band. The trolls don't realize this. When you go on there, you're just helping that band or that page or that business to get in the good graces of the algorithm. So what you're doing is actually helping the band. And when they're responding because that's helping build the engagement. And every time you go back in there, you keep talking more trash and they're responding back to you. It's not because they have nothing else better to do. It's because they want to keep that video going. So I posted a video yesterday and it got some good attention. It got decent likes. I think we were like 300 last time that I looked, 300 likes. And it got up to this just in 24 hours. It's already at like 20,000 views. And it's just a short clip that I posted. And it's one of our better performing ones. And it was because there was a lot of haters that just went on there and they were just talking trash about the band and talking about our guests that we had on the song. And like, I always tell people, I'm like, your negativity is just helping the band. Like, the best thing you can do for someone that is trying to get out there and get their name out there is don't give them any attention at all. You're taking that power away from them if you just ignore them and ignore the fact that they exist. By you going on there and telling other people that this band sucks or making comments, you're just helping that band. Like, good or bad.
Yeah, no, because it feeds the algorithm. That's what a lot of people like. Yeah, no, and I agree with that. But this guy was like, we're talking to the point to where he was being real shitty. Not even like
wasn't he threatening like to fight people and whatnot?
I think threatening to fight people, calling them fucking retarded. Because what he said was, oh God. So apparently he said, because he doesn't have children or something, but in some hypothetical situation, he said that if his teenage son hooked up with his teacher, he would give him a high five. And people are like, what the fuck, bro? Like, and that's what got him all like in deep shit. And anytime anybody mentions it, he's just like, oh, you guys are fucking retarded. And just like starts fucking going off on him. Not even a productive way. He doesn't argue facts. He argues from a stance of emotion.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, from what I've seen. It's just like, yeah, people are like, ain't these guys that get canceled and they're like doing acoustic now? And he's like, oh, you fucking retarded motherfucker. It's just like, huh, dude, that's not a.
Yeah, I mean, you got I feel like when you're trolling back and talking trash back, you have to do it tactfully. And I always call it Ronnie 101 from Ronnie Radke. That guy is the king of
I love that
clapping
guy.
back and trolling, dude. Like, I love his music. I love him as an artist. I think he's the last true, like, modern day rock star that we have in the rock world.
That guy's hilarious.
He's hilarious. He's very talented. He can sing, rap, scream. He can do it all. He's a very talented dude. But I love how he is creative with the trolls. And, you know, I saw him, he was posting on one of his songs live. He posted all these different videos in the background while they were playing one of their songs of the trolls that send him hate mail and social media posts, like telling them trash. And he like zooms in like on their teeth or their nose, or just zooms in on these goofy looking people that are on the internet, have no business trolling on the internet. And he's just to me, he's a marketing genius. And so I always tell people, I'm like, if you're going to troll back, you better be a good shit talker, because if you suck at it, or you're going to get yourself, you know, canceled or potentially burn some bridges with people, just let it be and let the haters continue to talk trash. But if you can do it tactfully, definitely do it. I'm lucky I grew up shit talking, so I'm pretty good at it, and I haven't luckily gotten myself into trouble, and I'll knock on wood on that. But
well, speaking of canceling, I gotta say this as an agent and someone who's been a promoter for many years. For the love of fucking God, artists, quit thinking the stage is some goddamn fucking platform to be a fucking political activist. I don't give a shit what side of politics you're on. I'm there to see a fucking goddamn concert, not your fucking opinion. And you're gonna alienate half your fucking fan base no matter which side you pick. Shut the fuck up and play some fucking music.
I 100% agree with that. And have you ever had to drop a band for that? Like, you don't have to name names, but have you ever had to like...
I dropped bands for that. Like, I wouldn't pick up people for that. I mean, here's my rule of thumb, right? So this is my personally speaking on my personal Facebook for a great example. If I argue something, you better have the facts to support what you're saying, because I always do. And I don't argue from emotion, I argue from facts. And actually have intelligence and critical thinking, and you got to have some decent cognitive ability here. So when you get some people out there, and I'm going to touch very lightly on politics on this, but we all know you have two types of people out there that you see on Facebook. One, they cover fucking politics more than the goddamn fucking news, and their entire feed is how they hate a certain individual. Or the other type is the type of guy who is fucking wanting to blow that certain individual, and all their posts are 1,000,000 times a day about how they love the fucking person. And I'm sitting here just like, go touch grass. It's not healthy. Like, go fuck yourself. And I literally block those people because like I had one follow me literally the other day. They followed me and I clicked on their page, and they're in a band from Portland. I don't even know who this person is, by the way, but they're in a band. And I clicked on their page, and the first thing I see is, and I'm going to use some big words here, I see very tribalized content that is very political, very identity partisan politics. So the first thing I see is a Facebook banner with a political slogan. See a picture with the political slogans that you see. I see the page feed full of the past 27 posts of political slogans or political ideology posts, hyper tribalized. What tribalized is like, if anybody that doesn't know what it means, it's a big fucking word where it's like, hey, I'm a Raiders fan, but you're a fucking Seahawks fan, so fuck you. That's tribal. I see this and I'm just like, yeah, I'm blocking this person. Just straight up, like, I don't want nothing to do with them. I don't care. Because the first thing I'm seeing is everything on your page is, you care more about politics than the fucking goddamn politicians that work in them or the people covering them. What the fuck? And it's just like, that's not healthy.
No. It's like you just mentioned right before. It's like you're alienating half of your crowd. Like, unless your whole stance is and your band is all about this specific thing, I get that. But if you're not really touching on that, and you're like we were talking about earlier, if you're not out there actually doing something about it, like if you're not out running for office, if you're not writing your congressman, you're not actually involved in the politics, just stay the fuck out of it and keep doing your entertainment of people. Leave it off the stage. Your people paid money to see you perform your songs, make them feel welcome, make them feel entertained, and make them feel good about themselves and inspired, not to hear your political thoughts and beliefs. It's kind of like, it's like one of those things where, even with religion, like I always say this with religion, I respect you for your beliefs, but I respect mine. Let me think what I want. I won't tell you about mine. You don't tell me about yours. I literally do not care, because I can find other ways that we can relate and things that we can agree on, and even the things that we don't maybe not agree on. But I guarantee you that if we don't agree on something, it's not going to be as bad as if we don't agree on politics or religion, because those two things are just so personal and people take them to.
I got to go in for you. So, like, Immortal Technique. If I'm going to a Immortal Technique show, I expect to hear about some fucking politics, because that's all he raps about.
Yeah.
Now, if I go to an Afro Man show, he better not cut the middle of the spread of because I got high to start talking about who he feels should have won this or that or whatever the fucking current legislation. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
That's my whole thing. But I see artists do that shit all the time.
I don't understand that at all. I see that too. Or if you're I always see the ones that like to go on social media and they say, if you're this party or that party, I don't want you as a fan or this. And it's like, really, I don't want you at our shows. It's because someone thinks differently. Like I'm all for people thinking for themselves, and don't tell me how to think, motherfucker. Like you don't need me or anybody else telling you how to think. Have your own beliefs and stick to your morals and whatnot. But it doesn't mean that just because we don't agree on certain things that you have to rid those people out. Imagine a world if we were all thinking alike, how boring that would be. Like that would really suck. It would suck. It would really suck. And it's like, just get over your shit. And at the end of the day, I promise you that neither party gives a fuck about you, your cause, your morals, or anything.
Facts.
That's been proven
facts.
time and time again. And they're all money grabbing, and they all work for the same fucking people.
No, 100% facts. But what I was saying is, like, you see bands like that turn their whole fucking platform into some political fucking thing, and then it's like, what? Like, I'll drop a name, right? And this is nobody's gonna fucking who it is, but he ain't gonna care I dropped his name. So at one point, we got asked to pick up Forgiato Blow. And you don't know who Forgiato Blow is. Probably nobody listens to your chat knows who Forgiato Blow is. So Forgiato Blow is a rapper from Florida. Forgiato Blow has an entire discography dedicated to Donald Trump because it's Trump country, and he's a Make America Great Again fucking rapper. And I said I wouldn't touch him with a 100-foot pole, and he's like, why? And I'm like, because your fucking catalog. Like, all your songs are about the current president of the United States. Like, you're going to alienate people. I can only book you realistically in the fucking South.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not.
It's shoot yourself in the foot when you just, regardless of who you pick, you're shooting yourself in the foot, and it's not gonna get you.
No, I was just using that as an example because he's like more popularly known. But yeah, that's my advice on the artist thing. Artists, if you don't turn, you're gonna alienate your fans. You got to remember, you have fans from all walks there, all different beliefs, and unless you're Lamb of God, I highly doubt you have Christian fans.
Hey, I do actually. I mean, I have listeners of all, or friends on my social medias of all types, so I never assume, but they also know how I am.
Cody, I said, unless you're Lamb of God, I'm sure you don't have Christian fans.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. You never know, man.
I never know. I'm making a joke.
They got
miscategorized under Ticketmaster, fucked up, and categorized them as a Christian band.
Yeah, and they got played at some church or something like that.
Yeah. But I was just saying, like, every artist, no matter the genre, you're gonna have fans of all different walks of life. So it's best not alienate fans. It's also best to be more conscious with your social media posting, because you're gonna alienate people. Like that person that I said that followed me that got blocked. Like, I don't know who they are. They're in a local band. I would never work with them just based off what I looked at their profile. It's just like, you're not somebody I'd even associate with because, ew.
Yeah, I don't blame you. So from one controversial topic to another that I saw recently that you posted that I absolutely loved it when I saw it, because I've been talking about this a lot with different guests on the podcast, and I've been making posts about it myself on Facebook and Instagram. And I'll let you paraphrase pretty much what you said about this, but I want to talk about artificial intelligence and specifically when it comes to creating music, creating art, running your ads for you, like whatever you use it for. What are your thoughts on AI and entertainment and art and all that?
Let me start with the ads thing. So first of all, as somebody that has like 4 certificates of running ads and took many marketing classes, let me openly just say this to everybody listening. If you use AI to run your ads, you're a dipshit, because they're just taking your fucking money and Zuckerberg's fuckerberging you. on that one.
Can you give us a little, can you give an example of what exactly is happening? Because I've been seeing more and more that those are getting pushed. I haven't used them myself because I
So
do
for
my
the
own.
AI ads, we're probably thinking of different things. So inside the Meta network itself, it allows you to, when you go to create an ad, it allows you under the Meta ads library to use AI to create the ad for you. And all that cares about is putting that said ad in front of people. It doesn't care if you're not going in there. It's not going to go in there and fine tune it like you should as a human being and to target the correct audiences. Like if I was marketing a metal show, I would want to market to people that are going to go to a metal show. But what it's going to do, it's going to market to every fucking buddy. So some 90-year-old granny sitting in her fucking Christian church over there that listens to nothing but gospel music is going to see it and go, what the fuck is this? Like, well, not like that, but
Yep.
that's why AI doesn't have the human, like, it's a money grab is what they do it for. It's like businesses with AI want to use AI to get rid of a lot of the customer support, but AI doesn't have human intelligence by any means at all. It goes off what's coded into it. And it makes a lot of mistakes. So speaking on the ad thing, so if you're doing ads with AI, you're dumb.
Yeah. I was going to say, and can you clarify? Because I know, like I said, a lot of people on here, whether they're musicians or not, they may not know what exactly, ads are like. They think that maybe you're paying for fake bots to like it, but that's not the case. You're paying for advertisements of your music or your links or your
you're running the
videos.
ad through Facebook or through Instagram. The actual ad itself is what I'm referring to when I'm saying this.
And the Meta gets paid and you get charged per click, not for a bot liking your post.
Correct.
So every time someone clicks.
And then you're not setting, the AI is just going to set up the ad. So when you go through and tell Meta AI to set up the ad for you, what Meta AI is going to do, it's going to set up the ad to where Meta benefits off the ad to getting the most money out of you. If you fine tune the ad the correct way, if you know what you're doing, it was going to target the correct people and get a detailed targeted audience. That's the difference of what I'm saying. It's why you wouldn't use AI. As for and
it pushes it, dude. It literally, when I'm creating ads, I have to be very careful when I'm doing it. I even turn off my music because a lot of times I like to work with music. When I'm creating ads, I have to turn off my music because they keep changing it. And they sneak a lot of these things, like where they hide the options for you to do it yourself. And they keep pushing automated, like AI. AI will do this. It'll automatically readjust itself in 2 days if it's not getting the results you want. And I'm like, no, I don't want that. I want it to go back to the original way. So I handle everything manually myself. I do not allow the AI to control that because I know exactly what you're saying. It's like they want you to run out of money. You set a dollar amount per day or per week or whatever.
Lifetime
and
budget,
they want you to run out as fast as you can by getting it just to a vast majority of people, regardless if they listen to metal or whatever your target audience is.
I'll give you some free advice here to everybody listening to YouTube to derail your podcast on this. You want to do a conversion ad or a traffic ad targeting your website or your video, whatever you're targeting. A detailed targeting 50 miles around the area that you're aiming for, the city. You want to put it into the actual locations that you want to target. But you only want to do a conversion ad or a traffic ad, better known as. To direct the traffic with the pixel to the location where it's going to, whether it's your Spotify, your website, the music video, or whatever you're promoting. Because if it does it that way, they will bill you off the link clicks of people clicking the link. So they actually have to physically click the traffic link to go to whichever you're promoting with the ad for versus a regular ad like a boost where somebody clicks on the freaking boosted image.
Which is very different. Yeah, I was going to say, that's very different. A lot of people do that and they think that that's the same. It's not the same thing.
Yeah. I know.
I learned that one at a very early age of ads.
Yeah, it's a free game there. Free game that I don't be giving out. So I'm just going to throw this out here, if it's okay with you in the middle of the show.
Yeah, go for Nate. This is you're my guest, so you run it.
Yeah. So I'm on Amazon. I'm a published author. Don't need to hear anything about anybody. I got a book. It's like $6.99. It's free every like 3 months. It's called Get Booked. And it breaks down like as a artist what you should be doing and how to deal with promoters and shit. And it's like 16 pages, not 16 pages, 16 chapters. It's like 350 pages on a promoter perspective and how to properly do it where you don't like be aggravating these people. Because a lot of people that go into it don't know the correct way of doing it. And that's where a lot of it, the issue comes in. But to address the AI thing, so AI music and AI art. So
I do want to come back to that, like what you just said.
Yeah,
so you have a book. You have a book. Now let's go into AI, but don't let me forget this question is I want to know like what are like your top most annoying things that you deal with that every musician, artist, rapper, band?
Not having hard ticket numbers, thinking that streaming numbers matter, which streaming numbers and social media members don't mean shit. And then the consistent follow up when you're told no. Like, let me do my job. Those are my 3 biggest pet peeves.
Makes sense. All right, let's go
Like
back
if I
on
tell
to
a dude, like, I need hard numbers, I don't have any, I'm like, well, you need to get hard numbers. You go, quit following up with me and be like, come on, bro, just put me on. Just put me on. Just put me on. Like, bro, go fuck yourself. And no, you can't buy on. You can't buy your way into it. There's no amount of money that you can spend that is going to open up this game for you. You're going to waste your money and get conned by somebody. I said what I said. AI music and AI art. So to touch base on this, I find AI music funny that you see this big uproar of musicians behind it. And a lot of the musicians that have the giant uproar about it are very comfortable with using AI art and AI to make their post and AI this and AI that. So let's tackle the art thing. So I have a client who's a graphic designer. That's his day job. And he does graphic designs for actually an AI company. AI art is not AI art. Yeah, I get why people are upset about it, but AI art is really never going to take a real graphic designer's job. It's not there. It's a tool like Photoshop. And as a promoter since 96, let me tell you the honest to God blunt truth. 99% of these motherfuckers that are graphic design cocksuckers that are sitting here charging me $100 and some odd fucking dollars go to Poster My Wall or some other bullshit template site and fucking punch everything into a template and want to sell that to you. Their flyers look the same. Ain't a single goddamn one of them a fucking graphic designer that really uses Photoshop, because the graphic designer that we actually have and we pay for, that dude charges like $500. He charges hourly.
Wow.
I guess like no joke. These dudes are using templates. Like most of them are blanket templates, or they're using Kavana,
Yep.
whatever the fuck it's called.
Very
all that
popular
shit.
one.
Yeah, they're using that. Poster My Wall, you name it. So AI art, I get it. I get why people are upset about it. Most people that complain about it are graphic guys that are using Poster My Wall. Now, as for AI music, I'm going to piss a lot of people off with this one. Buckle in. Here's the reality, guys. It's the floor. If you can't make better music than AI, you should probably quit making fucking music or getting better. Like I said what I said right there.
Yep.
That is the floor. You should not make worse music than AI. Like, period. There is zero excuse. I'm sorry. I've dealt with rappers for over 20 years, and it's the same thing. You have all these dudes that are shitty rappers, and I'm speaking as rappers. They're horrible rappers. We all know them. Horrible people in bands or whatever. They can't make fucking music. Shouldn't be making music, but nobody has the balls to tell them that. And those are the people that are mainly upset about it. Now, that being said, I think there needs to be heavy regulation on it. I think it needs to be labeled as AI so people know it's AI. And I don't think it should be taken people. Well, it hasn't been proven under the copyright lawsuits that you see where they're like they've took other people's shit. But if that is the case and happened, there needs to be regulation on that as well. We're just not taking the artist's music. But the other confliction of that is, if you go back to sampling, I mean, speaking as rappers, they've been ripping off other people's shit for years.
Yeah. There's a fine line. And I'll say this, because I know I've pissed off some people myself with talking about this, and they get, like you said, they get all butthurt about it. I have used AI music on a program called Suno. So I know exactly what it can and can't do. Mm-hmm. It will not allow you to go in there and say, hey, I want you to produce a song that's like the Deftones. The minute that you put an artist in there in the prompt,
no, it can't do that.
It says it can't do that, or even an artist name. It won't allow you to do that. You have to be very detailed in your description of the prompt for it to create something for you. Now,
and the other thing with Suno, since you're on it, which is really funny, is because everybody's under this misconception that you can go make a song with Suno, or for example, Suno, and you just punch in there like, make me a metal song, and all of a sudden Roddy Radcliffe climbs through your fucking speakers and is just killing the shit. That shit gives you ABC 1, 2, 3 Dr. Seuss level fucking minute and a half, 40 seconds. I think it's like a minute and a half now. Fucking songs that are the most trash shit ever. You got to actually know how to prompt that shit. Put correct lyrics in that are correctly written to get a decent fucking song. Let me just say that.
Yes. And so I pay for the medium version, which I think it's called the Pro. I think it's Pro version.
So do I.
So basically what I do is I still write my own music in Pro Tools. So I'll put the guitar, the drums, keyboards, everything together in lyrics. I will run it through. Suno allows you to give it its parameters of how much it's going to influence what you just wrote and how much freedom you're going to give it. So I give it like, I set mine to keep my original intent and sound at 96%. So I only give it a 4% opportunity to change it. If you go over
85, like 85 is the spot it goes.
Is a sweet spot? I just don't like it to change too much, because then I'm like, this is my intention of this.
Well, here's what it is. Weirdness, you have the weirdness thing. and it puts weirdness automatically at 50. But if you drop it below 15%, it starts saying it limits the shit out of it.
Yeah, I do that. I keep mine at like 2 or 3% of weirdness because some of the weirdness can get really weird, and I'm like, no.
You get 86, going over 85 is where it starts changing things on it. Then it got style on there and audio influence.
And so people don't realize that. Yes, you can push a button and put a prompt in and it can create a song for you. But at the same time, you can also use it as a tool. And many people don't realize that it's just a tool. It's going to be something that can help you like a producer would do anyways in the freaking studio.
Let me address that. I may or may not use Suno because I get paid. Fuck it. As long as I get paid, y'all can hate. I don't care. So if you actually go to Suno Simple, you tell it to put a description of the song, like a cold Christian rock song about morning coffee. So you put that command in, it's going to generate the music or whatever. But then I put a correct command in. You hear probably like, what? And everybody that's mad about AI music, like, I understand human. Hold on, let me address something real quick before I get too deep into this. They can't perform it live. 99% of these fucking TikTok viral dudes never do live shows.
Yeah, I was going to say, they probably just make money off of whatever they're...
Yeah, online streaming. It should be heavily labeled. You put the lyric, if you do it correctly, you go to Advance, you put your lyrics in, and then for Suno's style, you would put in production notes. Now, myself, I'm not a musician, but Cody's a musician, so he can give me his feedback. Here is an example of a command I put in with Suno for production notes earlier. Production notes, key D minor, tempo 86 BPM, vocal tone and delivery, artist name, versus tight, and artist names be the AI artist. Versus tight, low, rap, tired but sharp, cracks into shouted punches on, nobody came, me too, and the room right now. Hook is yelled, rap chant. Catchy gang stacked vocals on, no God, just us, room right now, no autotune, no instrumentation and mix direction, hardcore trap drums lead, distorted kick, sharp snare, hats tight in verses, half time stomps on hook, long distorted eights is the main bass, sub choir pad under the hook for the lift, minimal muted guitar chugs only in hook, breakdown, no riffs, no solos. Add light venue room, tone under intro, keep it intimate, mixed vocals and drums up front, 808 thick, guitars low, short, tight, reverb, heavy compression, hook should feel like a crowded oath. You're a musician. That is a very technical command. Am I incorrect there?
No, that is 100%. And that's the level you have to get at to get something like custom made and done. But it takes a musician to know what what that exactly means. And again, I can go pay a producer $5,000 for a song that he may or may not get it right, or we might spend hours and hours and hours trying to get that right, or days, weeks, months, whatever. And here I'm paying $15 a month. I get X amount of credits, like 3,000 credits, and it takes forever to use up those 3,000 credits per month.
You get 10,000, you go to the $13.
Something. I forget how much I get. I go on there and I just pay the $15 or whatever. And the money that you save from this, from a producer, you can hire a better producer at that point if you get what your sound is that you're wanting to go, and then once you get what you're looking for on your song, you can go hire a producer to fine tune it and give it more of that human touch, or the final human touch to it, and use the money that you saved to tour, to market and brand yourself, to get all that stuff. This is kind of cutting out a middleman and wasting time, and
all the labels are buying them up.
Yep.
One of the labels, Warner Brothers, just brought Suno. The other big one was brought by another label. The labels are buying this shit up.
I'm not surprised. And what's funny is that there's a lot of people out there that say, oh, I could tell if it's AI. There's a lot of shit that you cannot tell that's AI. And I guarantee you that there's top hits out there that people are bopping their heads to in the car that they have no idea that AI created it years ago, because they've had this technology for a long time, and even more advanced than what Suno can do. There's a lot more expensive programs. So this is just the beginning for your average everyday person that wants to pay the $15 a month or whatever.
And the other thing that most people I see, and this is speaking as a person who deals with rappers, the people that moan and complain the most about it, the music they make is fucking trash. They can't even ride the beat correctly.
I was going to say, they don't even have the BPM a lot of the times correctly, and it's not mixed well.
No, I'm talking about the artists themselves, the people that are complaining about it. Like they make the worst music I ever heard to where they shouldn't even be rapping, and then they're complaining about it.
They could learn a thing or two from what Suno does for them, or one of the AI.
It's the floor. I do want to touch up something with AI in general, because it's a big talking point that I see, and not to fuck your show up when I say this. I see a bunch of people love the virtual signal, and I know that word is used a lot, but it's used basically as to be like, I'm a good person, and not really believing in the facts of what they're saying, but they do it. So you see these people that moan about the amount of water used and the effects on the environment. Yes, AI uses a lot of those, but guess what? Let's just really hit the facts here. Smartphones, data centers, cloud streaming, all that shit uses way fucking more. You can't sit there and moan about the data center usage of AI, but you're fine with social media, cloud streaming, this and that. And then water.
Can you explain that a little bit more? Because I have had people mention that, and I have no idea. I don't know anything about that. So what exactly is that you're talking about, the water?
Okay, so the water thing. So people love to scream that the water used to cool the processors for AI. You know, the big servers to cool them.
Are they in the ocean?
No, they use fresh water. But speaking of facts in America overdose. Speaking of facts in America, 70% of the water that's used in America is for agriculture. Now, industrial only uses 20%. So like that, but it was all over Facebook as this big talking point. And then the other thing with it is they were saying that the energy and the electricity and the water that AI uses, and I got no big argument with people over this because I'm just like, okay, yeah, I agree with you that it uses it, but you're on the effects of the environment, but you're posting on Facebook from a fucking smartphone complaining about the effects on the environment. The amount of data centers, because like AI runs off a data center, right? You know what a data center is. I'm being nerdy here, but servers and all that.
Yep.
I guarantee you the internet uses way fucking more. Social media uses massive data centers, Netflix, all this. They talk about the effects of the environment, like the fucking lithium batteries in the fucking smartphones. And the minerals used for that has massive effects on the environment. And it's just like, okay, you want to be the Greenpeace activists on AI, but you're okay with every other thing's carbon footprint except AI. And the guy I was arguing with is like, well, it's because I don't like AI music and I'm a rapper. And he's a shitty fucking juggalo rapper. Like, it's like the worst music I ever seen in my fucking life. Like, you can't even ride the beat. Like, the beat probably still had producer tags on it as well. Wow. And like complaining about it. And it's just like, the funny thing is, someone's been in the music industry for a long time, is I'm going to punch down and punch up at the same time. The people that moan the worst about AI on the internet, if you haven't noticed, are local artists. And that's me being respectful.
Yeah.
The national artists don't give a fuck about it. The superstar celebrities are using it. Yep. The producers are using it. So it's like people complain about the internet. I mean, but I do think it does need to be labeled fairly.
And so, for example, because you know that I feel like people will be doing it. There's going to be people that abuse it, and there's going to be people that use it as a tool. How do you feel? What would your preference be for an artist that uses it as a tool? Let's say they use it for 30% of their writing or 20% of their writing of a song, or what? How would you prefer for the royalties or for the credits, or how it's differentiated from bands that or artists that just strictly don't use it, and how would you track that? How would you?
Well, it's a tool. What I'm big though, I'll tell you something crazy. Like, because you put your publishing through Amazon. Because don't you know Jeff Bezos has his meat hooks into every fucking thing, right? So you go down here to the book. I'll tell you what it says in here.
It's on Amazon.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go on there right now.
Oh no, you don't got to go on there for this because you won't see this on your side. You see this on my side. So when you go to upload a book on Amazon, you put it. And then put your digital rights. And here's the first, and it goes, the cover of your book. This is inside it. And the next question after this, AI generated content. Amazon is collecting information about the use of artificial intelligence, AI tools in creating content. What is AI generated content? You can click on that to get a definition. Did you use AI in creating the text, the images, or translations of your book? If you select yes, it says the text, and under text, it goes some sections with minimal or no editing, some sections with extensive editing, entire work of minimal or no editing, entire work with extensive editing. Images, say one or few AI-generated images with minimal editing, one or few AI-generated images, many AI-generated images, many AI-generated images with extensive editing, and then translations say the same thing. So they make you label it if it's AI. And I think with music, it should be labeled if it's AI or not.
And do you think people will be honest with that? Or their perspective of a little and a lot and medium could be very different from artist to artist?
Right. I'm just saying, like, It should have a disclaimer on it that it was AI. It was AI used with the work. That's all I'm saying. Like, and then if it's a complete AI artist, it should be labeled it was AI art. Just the label on it. Like, just like with Gemini, if you use Gemini, it has a watermark on there. Or Sora with the AI videos uses the watermark and lets people know this is AI. It gives people the option to know, because at the end of the day, you don't see people that actually listen to music like that, the fans of music, that are moaning the most about AI. It's artists.
I was going to say, here's the thing. The people that matter, they're going to pay for the music, not the artists, because a lot of times artists don't buy other artists' music. They'll steal it, or they just ask for free. But the fans, especially the younger ones, they're not going to care if it's AI generated or AI influenced or original work, especially as the younger crowd gets more and more used to AI being a part of everyday life. Do you think those kids are going to give a flying fuck that the AI was using this? If the song is good, if they can use it on their TikTok for making their video on a skateboard or doing their stupid little hat trick things or whatever that they do on TikTok, and the music goes with that, they're not going to care if the artist used AI or not, or if it was an AI completed track or whatnot. So artists need to realize that other musicians are probably not going to be buying your music anyways. And I run into this all the time with other musicians, because a lot of times musicians will be like, well, I want to play technical music because I want to make sure that I'm respected as an artist and that other musicians acknowledge the fact that I'm great at my instrument or whatnot. And I'm like, do you think those artists are going to buy your music or care? They're not going to care. And I guarantee you the fans, if they're not musicians, they're not going to care. If the song is good, and the song is good, it doesn't matter how simple or how technical it is. If it's a good song, they're going to buy it and they're going to like it. Other musicians, and this is just from me being around them my whole life, a lot of times musicians don't buy other musicians CDs or streams, or what. They'll stream it because it's you got Spotify and you can do whatever, but they're not going to go to your merch table, and they're going to be the first ones that hit you up and say, hey, I saw you're in town, you're playing a show, can I get on the guest list? You know what I mean? Like, it's so people need to stop worrying about what other musicians think, or worry about what your fan base and what the average everyday music listener is going to care if they're going to invest in.
Too, and it's most of the people that moan the most about it don't even have a fan base.
They want something. I think you said this in your post. They just want an excuse to be failed musicians or feel failed, and you have blame it on somebody.
Well, no. I mean, I was doing a mixtape a few years ago during COVID. Yes, you heard that right. I was doing a mixtape, and I was looking for lyrical rappers, lyricists. And this one local rapper sent me a song of a party track. And I said, this guy sucks. He fucking sucks. I'm like, bro, like, it's for like lyrical lyricists, like boom bat rap's what I'm doing. He sends me another one, some party bullshit. And I'm like, respectfully, it's not what we're looking for. He sends me a third one. Then I just decided to stop being nice. I'm like, hey, I was sitting here thinking, bro, I'm like, is rap not working for you? He's like, huh? I'm like, you can't make any real fucking bars? You ever thought about trying welding? What do you mean? Because you became a welder, maybe you can make some real fucking bars then, because you sure ain't fucking making any with your rap.
Wow, Simon Cowell here.
I have so many rappers that like hate me because, like, if you suck, I'll tell you fucking suck.
Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Just being brutally honest, Yeah,
if you suck, like, it ain't about it. Yeah, it's like I've told promoters are shitty promoters. Like, it's just brutally honest, no feelings to it, and get fucking better. I remember when I was shitty at what I did, real fucking shitty at it, where I was like, oh god, people didn't want to work with me because it's fucking horrible at it. Didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Like, the fake it till you make it is like the biggest load of bullshit ever. It ain't fake it till you make it. Actually, fucking learn and figure it out.
Yeah,
like,
you got to work and hustle and. Yeah, like, take your bumps and bruises and learn from them, and you should be getting better. The more you do it, you should be getting better, and suck it up when people tell you that you're lacking this or lacking that. Take it as free advice.
I had a girl rapper. She's way young, whatever. To help her out because she's young, wants to be a rapper, and then I'm like, she don't listen, ain't gonna go anywhere. Anyway, her mom hits me up all the time. This girl's in her 20s. She's like, she's super young. But her mom hits me up. Her mom's like our age, bro. And her mom's all like, she's depressed and this and that. Can you get her on shows and this? And I was just like, she'd be better off going to fucking college. Like, she don't have a fucking diploma. She doesn't have a driver's license. But her dream's to be a rapper. Yeah, cool. You have a better chance of fucking hitting the lotto. Go to fucking school.
Have a backup plan, and she might learn something from there that might just be what she needs to figure out how to better herself as a musician and market herself and that kind of stuff. So I always tell people, especially as a musician, the level of success of what it is to be a successful musician is all about what you set for yourself. Don't let other people.
You can't do it with no money. Everybody thinks you can do it with no money, no budget, and that's not how it works.
Hell no. You got to invest in yourself. It literally does cost because you have to pay to build your brand. You have to have money. You have to invest in yourself, because no one else is going to invest in you.
Yeah, no. I remember, I'll tell you a funny story. This is real shit. This is about a musician that everybody knows. So back in 2018, I was doing shows again, and this rapper was coming through, and they offered him to me for $5,500. Then he came back through in 2019, and they offered me $5,500, and I turned it down. And then they hit me up, and they were like, $8,500. And then I reached out to them in like 2021. They were like, it's $150,000. And I'm like, you're out of your fucking mind. Jelly Roll right now isn't doing shows for like,
damn.
And that's the exact rapper it was.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's before he blew up, before he was like what everybody knows back when he was a rapper. But yeah, I turned it down. I really turned down Jelly Roll like no bullshit.
Damn.
Not a bad thing. I mean, he wasn't worth the money they wanted for him, to be transparent with you. You're not throwing shade.
Yeah, no. I mean, I was talking to someone about this, was it yesterday or the day before, that Linkin Park was turned down 44 times before they actually got signed to their record label, which is crazy when you think about it, because multi-millions and millions and millions of dollars that they've made. They might even be, they're probably well over that, but.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? It probably took them failing and, getting told no and the rejection to keep them, the drive going for them to want to get better, to learn from their mistakes. And, that's sometimes just what you need. Otherwise, if someone continues to tell you, oh yeah, you're doing a great job, and you're not growing, you're not learning, they're not doing you any favors, and it's
normalize telling your friends they suck.
Yeah, if they do, they gotta tell them. You gotta let them know. What advice would you have because a lot of times bands don't know exactly how booking works, and when you have an agent, what exactly that means, and what your role is as an agent. Like what can bands do to get notice from booking agents? What can they expect when they find a booking agent that booking agent does or does not do? So that way, when they show up to the show, they're not like, well, my booking agent was supposed to do this or that. And it's like, no, that wasn't part of the deal.
Well, I'll say this, just to get all the predatory shit out of the way. Booking agent takes 10%, period, point blank. Managers take 15%. You got a bunch of scummy motherfuckers out here. They'll try to charge all this money up front and all this, point blank. Most people that approach me that need a booking agent, smaller acts, don't need a booking agent. That's the truth. The booking agent is when you're ready to tour, you actually have a fan base, and you're there. That's where we look at the hard ticket numbers. Number one thing is to keep your hard ticketed numbers. Everybody, for some reason, most of the shit I deal with is rap. They seem to think that you go from, I just started rapping, and now I'm selling out shows and getting all the hoes. God damn, I should have been a rapper. Holy shit. It doesn't work like that. You gotta, on the band level, as you guys know, you gotta do shows with local bands, local shows, get yourself out there, get on with regional bands, tour, do other cities, and build up a fan base, and then just keep track of the fan base. Agents are gonna notice off of numbers. There was a girl that I booked for, and it's funny. I seen her on TikTok, and she had like 50,000. There's some potential here. And I picked her up, and it wasn't easy to pick her up. They didn't, I chased her for like a year. I remember this was like a fucking year. I chased her, and no. Like, they just kept ignoring me on it, whatever. Because there's a lot of scummy fucking agents out there. And then I convinced her, she was doing a tour of coffee shops, and she's opening for this guy that opens for her now. But it's funny.
Shit.
She was opening for him, doing these coffee shops for $5 in advance. And it was like $8 at the door. Like these 60 people coffee shops. And I was just like, I sent an email to the manager and was like, we should get on a call. Because the manager was like their significant other. And I was just like, when I finally got him on a call, I was just like, hey, are you trying to kill your fucking career? Like, you have 250,000 monthly listeners on, or it was like 100,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, 50,000 on all your social medias. You doing coffee shops for $8 fucking?
Yeah, what
like,
the
you
hell?
know that they keep track of these ticket sale numbers, right? Like, that's what's going to be asked. What did you do last time you were in the market? 25 people? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then I convinced them to allow me to book them a tour. I'm based on something that has a massive amount of streaming numbers. And I've seen these tours of these TikTok people go one of two ways. And hers went the unusual way. Normally what happens is you put them on the road. Cool, they're big on TikTok. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody buys tickets. They sell like 20 tickets. She put her out there, and she's doing 150, 200 people. a night, like, because actually has a fan base. And then you fast forward, like some stellar agent. You fast forward, how many years has it been? 4 years later, 5 years later, 4 years later, I want to say. Now she's doing 600 to 1,000 people. Like, but it was just, I took a chance on her because the streaming numbers were there. And that's what an agent will look at, is the numbers. If you, and speaking of that particular client, I'm fighting them all off with a fucking stick, bro. I've had to circle the wagons and everything else because every agent keeps fucking trying. But I've been there since day one.
Yeah.
They don't really get any action. Like, they try, they hit her up, like, hey, you fire him, come over here. And they're just like, yeah, no.
I like that loyalty, man. It gets you a lot farther.
No. Washerman hasn't hit her up yet, or one of those big motherfuckers. The second they hit her up, I'm fired. I should be stupid not to.
Yeah, no, for sure. The fact you understand, though, and you
Yeah, that's what I told her. I tell all my clients, you're going to make a move, make a vertical move, not a lateral move. They're going to make an example of Kara Lewis. Like, Kara don't know me. Kara ain't going to give a shit me mention her name. So from the hip hop world, you have Kara Lewis, and everybody probably like, who the fuck is that? I'll just tell everybody this. She books for Eminem.
Shit.
I could go through the rest of her roster, but she books Eminem. I think we can stop there, right? Cool.
Yep.
So if she called you, you would fire me immediately. Like anybody would. You'd be stupid not to. Yeah, like point blank.
So something that I saw you post, what was it, earlier today, and I kind of have my thoughts on this or ideas of how it could work, and maybe I wanted to gather your thoughts first. But first, I want to talk about what you posted, and
I post a lot of bullshit.
Well, this caught my eye earlier, and just wanted to get you to speak about it on here, and maybe your thoughts. So we kind of touched on it.
About it. So what I posted earlier, Cody's going to tell you. See, it's $20. It's $20, guys. I mean, like, this is what it is. I can't help it. I'm not that way, but for $20, I mean, we can talk. Bang my line.
The post you made earlier got me thinking, and it's
mid-size venues.
Yes, the mid-size venue. So can you tell the audience about that, what your post was, and what you mean by that?
Yeah. So here you go. Here's the big dick energy coming out across you guys. So let me pull up my LinkedIn for this, because I post this big thing about on LinkedIn that make a lot more sense than this shit. But so the music industry, everybody says, is in a perpetual downturn if you're on the booking side. Promoters love to scream it. Agents love to scream it. Bands ain't selling tickets like they used to, and they like to say it too. But here's the reality. Let me go to this. So I posted it a couple months ago. I got to get my statistics out.
I love that post this morning because it got me thinking. It got my brain thinking of ideas of what could work potentially if all parties could agree on it and be honest and whatnot.
So let's look at last year. So last year, we've seen 2025 trends. The club rap shows are facing headwinds. We move deeper into the year. This is a mid-year post. The reality is clear. Club-level ticket sales, especially in hip-hop, are soft across most markets. And the data that was driving is real-world factors. Margins are tight. Rising venue cost, uneven turnout means small shows aren't breaking even or even worse. Fan behavior is shifting. Audiences are prioritizing arena tours and festivals where they perceive bigger value. Buzz is the new currency, social media engagement. I said they should be stacking it. And here's some too long didn't read data points. So the 300 and 500 cap rooms, which is mid-sized venues, are getting squeezed by cost and fan selectivity and crowded calendars. So we just seen Mama Lou's close down. They've been closing down across the nation, those size of venues. The key numbers here is the top 100 tour gross are down. This is 4 months ago, by the way, are down 8.4% with shows, down 26.7% per show. But per show strength is up to 32.1% ticket sale average, with the average ticket sales being 14,229 tickets for those shows. So you can guess the level we're talking.
Oh, yeah.
Gross revenue is down $1.71 million on those type of shows. Average ticket sale price is down 5.5% to about $120.43 a ticket. 18 tours averaging 30,000 tickets per show versus 11 last year. 64% of U.S. independent venues are 64% of U.S. independent venues are unprofitable in 2024, and only 31% of 2025 events report stable attendance.
Damn.
The genre snapshot at that time when I posted that was hip hop is that a sub 500 cap is soft unless there's real local support. Locals are carrying the packages. Rock and metal is up 15%. The most reliable and small room bet is rock and metal. Pop and Latin are strong, but mid-tier proof demand remains first.
Well, that's cool to hear about metal being up.
Yeah, metal's up 15%. Wraps down. Small rooms are stressed because the costs are up across the board: fuel, hotels, crew, insurance, rent. Fans are concerning about budgets on the king would rather opt into can't miss stadiums and festivals. More events are competing with the small wallets, and all-in pricing makes mispriced shows stall even the funnel. Bottom line, the top is healthier, so the top big arena shows, and even becomes scarce because it's scarcer and is bigger. And small shows without disciplined pricing and proof of demand, gates, and real equalization. Hip hop and sub 500 is selected by. Rock and metal is the current green light. Promoters and venues, are seeing a decline in it, and a lot of it is the pricing. It's overpriced.
Pricing for the customers, or for pricing for like the promoter or the
fucking customers. I mean, the promoter doesn't do his due diligence. The market's own problem. But like, I did a Mortal Technique in Portland, and my tickets were $30. We did 30 advance, and in fucking Seattle it was 55.
Jeez.
And then that was before the ticketing fees.
Dude.
Like we had a tour we just did with Vito, because I booked for Vito, and we declined an offer for a venue, and we wanted tickets at $35, and they wanted tickets at $20. And this just gets crazy. The reason they couldn't do our tickets at $35 is because at $20 they had $15 in fees added onto the tickets.
That's unreal.
Ticketing fees are out of fucking control.
They are, and you know what? Fans are getting pissed about it, because I've seen this, because I've done it myself, but I've seen it with other people that go to shows with me.
Mm-hmm.
They wait till the day of the show because they know that, for example, if they're playing at the RVN amphitheater, that they can get their tickets. I may have paid $60 for lawn, but they're going to get theirs the day of the show for $20, sometimes $15, like for a ticket. I get pissed as a fan. I'm like, you're in the same spot that I'm at, but I paid like triple or four times the amount that you paid.
I took my girlfriend to go see fucking Morgan Wallen up in goddamn fucking Canada, bro. We got fucking tickets. I got 2 fucking stage side seats to see Morgan Wallen for $1,000.
2 of them?
For 2 of them, yeah.
Damn.
You know how much that would have cost in America, bro?
How much?
I don't fucking know. Like probably $5,000-$6,000. Like,
Jesus.
He was shit, like, not to offend anybody's Canadian listens to your show. He was shitting on him too. He was shitting on him hard. He was like, America, greatest country ever. Fucking flying in the background. I'm like, I'm in Canada, bro. Like, get your boot off the throat, my guy. God damn, you're not even in America anymore. He in Canada letting them know, like, America.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But back to the post to answer it. Mid-sized venues ain't empty just because of the pricing, though. It's because the promoters refuse to adapt. Yes. Direct-to-fan engagement with the promoters. They don't want to directly engage with the fans. They don't run their ads correctly. They don't run smarter ads. They want to run the ads the same way they do. And a lot of what the advertising is, they want to run their ads like 2 weeks for the show. And then with a lot of these promoters, what they do is, speaking as an agent side of things, deal with these fucking particular promoters. What they'll do is they'll buy the show. They'll offer you a set amount of money. They'll say, we'll pay the deposit 10 days out or 30 days out or X days out. And then what happens is they never pay the fucking deposit and they cancel the show due to lack of ticket sales. That's what they'll pull is like, I'm canceling due to lack of ticket sales, or I need a reduction because this just ain't selling. And you have to go into the ad library, speaking as an agent, to make sure they're even running ads, because most of the times they don't run ads. They lie about their ad budget and run less on it. But there's a massive squeeze on the lower level, the mid-level, the fucking below 500 cap level of shows. There's this massive squeeze that's happening. And then there's also, not to get into political shit, but we're probably in a recession. There's a high probability of that. Realistically, what anybody wants to say. I don't give a fuck how you feel about politics. We're probably in a recession, to be honest with you. Everything points to it. And then these massive festivals and massive shows that you see. Like, let's talk metal. Like, are you going to fucking go buy tickets to go see Fallen in Reverse when they're on tour and Slaughter to Prevail? Or are you going to go buy tickets to see fucking Ozfest, Slaughter to Prevail, Fallen in Reverse, and 300 other fucking major bands are playing? Where are you going to spend your money at?
The Ozfest for sure.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only festival I know when it comes to this. That's why I said Ozfest.
So you did say that local support is carrying the weight in a lot of these situations,
especially with rap. Yes.
How often do you see that these rap shows allow for local support, and are they flooding it with 10 locals, and then there's only really like 2 people?
10. So rap promoters are the fucking worst. Let me just say that rap promoters, so it goes one of 2 ways, depending on the level of the show you're dealing with. So. If you're dealing with Live Nation, I love you, Live Nation. If any of them are listening to your podcast, because a bunch of them know me. If you're dealing with Live Nation, rule of thumb, they don't add local support unless you tell them to. Some of the agents will say no local support. It really depends. But then you get a lot of these promoters that are like, I have to have my local support. and they'll put 10 to fucking 17 on.
Jesus,
and then
yeah, I was gonna
and they
say,
charge them all. That's the other big problem with rap is all this pay to play shit.
Yep.
I seen you live in Portland. I seen a Portland rap show, and it was funny. Like, it's a local one, and I counted it. They literally had it was a local rapper through it because the bane of anything with fucking rap is rapper promoters. Those are the fucking worst. There's a rapper that's a promoter now, or he's trying to be a promoter, and he books this rap show, and he put 17 fucking locals on it with himself headlining for $10.
Wow.
It's like nobody wants to sit through the rap fucking Olympics.
No. Like, so here's what I was thinking, and I feel like it should be the same for metal, is that when you're putting on a show, regardless if it's national acts or local acts, I feel like everyone that's involved in profiting on that show at that venue should be investing in ads and an equal amount. So
and everybody should be getting paid.
And so everyone should be getting paid, but all the bands and the local promoter there and the club that's getting to get all the people in there drinking their booze, eating their food, they should all pitch in on ads. It should be part of the contract that they all invest in ads, and then each band and each artist should have a way to prove that they invested, or maybe the money gets accumulated before the show to promote, and then each fan from their fan base, like on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or whatever, can give access to whoever's going to be in control of that, whether that's the local promoter or the venue or whatever, and they're able to run those ads with the money that each band is contributing to make sure that you have a sold out show. And I don't understand why we haven't moved in that direction. And I know some venues do.
On the rap side of things, I can say, because rappers love to scream the most. Can I use? I mean, it's fucking 2026. I don't care. They use the most retardedest fucking thing. Yeah, I've been using that shit since like the 90s. I never went away.
We're from the old school, man. I was gonna say we use all sorts of.
Any of you fucking retards are mad that I said retard? Go fuck yourself. Anyway, these fucking retards say the most retardedest thing I've ever seen in my life, to where they go, "It's a promoter's job to promote the show. It's a promoter's job to get a crowd in there." Like, a promoter cannot create a fan base.
No, that's 100% correct on that. And it's like it's a group effort. It's just as much the responsibility of the artist, I think, as if the band is not from that area, the promoter should be having flyers at the venue.
Promoter should be doing his. So here's my argument with promoters, right? Just hear me out. Here's my argument. As an agent, as a promoter, I follow this myself, but as an agent, I have to remind these guys this. So I book internationally and nationally. I don't know. I know what works in Oregon and Washington as a promoter. Like, I know my market. I know it works here. I don't know what works in Boston, Massachusetts. Don't get fucking mad at me that I offered to sell you a show and you brought it because you think I know what works in your market. Do your due diligence in your market. And that's what a lot of these promoters fail to do. And then they cry about it.
And it's usually probably amateur people that just want.
No, it's even the big venue people.
Really?
Yeah, because they're just like, well, we thought it would do good. What the fuck? This ain't doing well. It's like, did you do any sort of research?
Yeah.
Like, and there's all sorts of tools out there. I mean, you have Roster, you have Pollster. I mean, you have fucking concert archives. You can go look up concert archives and see, like, where they performed at last time. Like, and this kind of bit me in the ass with one. I'll throw artists' names out here too recently, like I just dealt with. As a promoter, I got offered this artist called Cupcake from White Mountain Touring. Kublai books for her, Kublai Kwan. And the only market history I could find to her for Oregon, because I asked him if he had the market history, he didn't have any, was that she did the Douglas Fir. And she did 150 people at the Douglas Fir when she did Douglas Fir. So I told him, since she only did 150 people at the Douglas Fir, I'm not interested in this. I would give you fucking $5,000 or whatever, blah, blah, blah. She ain't worth the amount of money you want. This is extremely risky. This motherfucker passes on it because whatever. And this little cocksucker sends me the flyer where she's doing the McDonald's down in fucking Eugene, and she's doing like 1,000 people.
Wow.
I'm just like, you gotta open with that dickhead. Like, but she does. Like,
yeah.
Like, I'm asking what her numbers are. I don't have them. Well, how'd you get her booked at the Douglas Fir if you didn't have her numbers?
Yeah, there's probably a lot of laziness too that you have to deal with, and
agents are lazy. With rap, they're lazy. There's a lot of laziness. Rappers are the most laziest people I've ever seen. Like, dealing with everything that annoys you and being in a band, rappers do. Like, that's what I'll say. Even getting them to post the flyer is a fucking chore some days.
That sucks. It's. I mean, if you're only going to be taken as serious as you take yourself and as hard as you work
let me
yourself.
Address something, like, to you, like, straight up. Like,
yeah.
And I'll go on this whole story about this. This is public information that my best friend told me not to address. So I booked this tour last year for this rapper. And this guy has millions of fucking monthly listeners. He used to be a mainstream artist before he went to prison. He had 5 million followers on Instagram. And we booked the tour, and the average ticket sales for the tour was
$10?
10 tickets sold average. What? And he's getting paid like 20 grand a show. And promoters ain't going to lose this type of fucking money. It's never going to happen. No. So I'm telling him we need to push it back. We need to do this. I'm pleading because this whole thing, shows are getting canceled, this and that. So he gets this wild hair up his ass, goes to his little Instagram of 5 million people, and fucking blasts the shit out of me that I didn't promote his tour, and I fucking suck, and blah, 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 and I'm a piece of shit, and all this, which cost me $60,000 to sue the fucking shit out of him, and won, which is the lesson to don't do that. But the more you fuck around, the more you find out. But the kicker of it is he was mad at me for the fact he couldn't sell tickets when I booked his tour. Live Nation, multiple promoters, multiple venues across the U.S. couldn't make people buy the tickets for him. And the reason why is he has one hit song, which is a club song, and he does really well in nightclubs.
So he booked it the wrong, probably
No, we booked it the right way. He just isn't a hard-ticketed artist. People want to come out and see him perform the one song and dance around, and that's it. It's already coming to the club. No one's going to buy hard tickets to go see him. He's not that artist. But the whole time we're like, this is falling apart. We need to do something here. And we came up with all these solutions. And the answers we got is, y'all don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm a hot artist. Wow. It's not what he said, but I'm not going to repeat exactly what he said because I will get canceled. But yeah, and I'm like, but it's just like, and that's the truth though. And it's like, and then instead of any sort of accountability on why the tour failed, he said it was me. And it's funny because he later went on DJ Vlad, if you know what that is, which was one of these big things because this went everywhere. It got picked up, Double XL and everything. He went on DJ fucking Vlad and had the testicular fortitude to say on DJ Vlad, yeah, I just said the balls. He went on there and said that he did the tour so I and his manager could make some money.
Wow.
Which is just like the manager gets 15%, I get 10. What the fuck you mean for me to make some money, bro? Like, yeah, I'm gonna make 20 grand. You're gonna make like 200 grand. What are you talking about for me to make some money?
Yeah, I can't imagine. The little bit I've dealt with booking like my band and whatnot at the small level is a nightmare. Back and forth emails, people not keeping the word, people backing out on things and misconstruing or miscommunicating what's said and all that. I just can't imagine the stuff that you deal with on a regular basis.
Let me tell you what I deal with. Let me read this to you. I'm going to blast this guy. So I get hit up from a tribute band. I ain't going to say their name. We're an internationally touring package from X City. We are in tributes to Nirvana, Linkin Park, and Creed. We have been doing tributes since 2015, touring coast to coast from the United States of America and worldwide run. We've toured the U.S., Honduras, Italy, Switzerland, France, Australia, Malaysia, Thailand, and we've played everything in tributes, world, from casinos to headline festivals, vines, corporate theaters, Live Nation rooms, and our Nirvana and Linkin Parks have recorded the largest capacity nights and tributes in Live Nation at X venue. We pride ourselves off every show set up successfully and aggressive pro marketing. It's the most important to us in this. So we asked him, because this is fucking golden comedy. And listen to anybody that's listening to this, this is how you don't do business. Just FYI. So let me pull these up here. So I forwarded him over to the guy that handles tribute acts that works for me. And he said, could you provide us hard ticket history for your project, please? And he responds back to the guy. And I do quote, this is the artist. Bro, nobody on this tier of tributes really keeps track, as you know, when you wouldn't want to put real flops in either. A most would lie. You don't need to do all that. But just to put 675 with Lincoln and Creed. And I've been doing this since 2011. I've taken Nirvana around the USA nonstop in 2015. Looking internationally and nationally, consistently from California, New York to everywhere since 2023. I have the Live Nation 123 biggest tribute band capacity sold out at House of Blues shows. Lincoln at 2,600. I definitely don't keep record of every show. Not that would be a petition at this point, but I've been doing this long enough to know that you were X person, right? So you just know the deal. We just play 60 shows a year, man. Our track record and our media and our history of being the busiest and most successful tribute act package in the country is also our demographic speaks for itself. Every show we headline, too many bands out there lying about sales when they don't push ticket sales and just guarantees. I just want door deals, man. I don't ask for big guarantees. More money, more in tickets. We are very, very photos promos and photos and the bands. We market hard. We literally the only tribute band package that has gone national and global in the U.S. in our demographic. We are the small group of guys that play in all three bands. The big dogs with massive history, world touring and ticket sales is X Band and X Band. And we use X Band to open as our opener, a really good opener. People love to sing and hear the iconic Creed rock songs. Linkin Park and Nirvana are doing their own world tours in 2026, Australia, Malaysia, Thailand, India. We already have shows booked across the country in California, New York, and in between. I'm reaching out to you because it never hurts to meet more people to work with. You see, you're in the kind of central East Coast, so I wanted to holla.
Wow.
And then I get looped back in, and the guy who works here loops me back in and said, "Hey, I'm totally unsure why you're being so defensive." Oh, wait, okay. So he sent another email over where he said, the guy that works here said, in this level, maintain a level of professionalism here. I'm not exactly how to take your response you just sent, but I'll be giving you my thoughts. Just so we're clear, I'm not trying to audit you or ask for your tax returns. I'm just trying to get a rough sense of where you're actually land so nobody wastes his time putting a square peg in the round holes. No need to try to rub anything in my face as your email comes across quite defensively. In the sense of keeping records, I think you're wrong. Every band should be keeping track of the numbers regardless. It's actually important that we maintain records as every band and artist we have on our roster, any show we have booked, we can reflect back on and see all the deals. I hear you on the door deals, inflated numbers and guarantees, and reality that most people don't keep track cleanly. That said, keeping at least a loose handle on your numbers does matter for a lot of practical reasons: routing efficiency and market selection, pricing, avoiding overbookings, or instead of throwing darts at a map. No need to go through old emails and pull spreadsheets out of the vault somewhere. If you want to share this kind of rough framing, cool. If not, it's totally fine. But asking for market history and getting hit with a response like you gave me has its own fair of concerns. Either way, have a great holiday, man. That's the guy who works here. And then the response he got for this was, the guy said, "I'm assuming our band. I assumed our band was asking us to play having UK likes traveling the world, the longest running package in the demographic and the market, the most successful package said enough. Guess not. We only headline. I survived this long enough to only headline and never really need another tribute opener of all three of us. Our three bands seems sufficient enough to be understood. The return of 'do you have room for ticket sales per sure' seemed dismissive to me. Maybe I read it wrong. You have three bands that you are booking that individually have no track record of ticket sales, and you put together a package for them, all the same venues, the tribute back scene. It comes off like, oh, real, come on, man. You already know the game. That's all. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be irritated, but I'm also been doing this since 2011. I've experienced it all. I've watched close. My main purpose here is to be exclusive, isn't to be exclusive, just to network. Why would you ask me for my rooms I've been playing if we were to introducing each other? I mean, I know I make an agency work for the super valuable info, not going to hand it over. This isn't the theater level. And the guy at work loops me back in and goes, artists, I'm totally unsure of why you're being so defensive. Asking for your market history is a fair question. Any artist comes looking for representation. I think you're reading too far into the questions we're asking. Simple. I wasn't being dismissive. I had been dismissive. I would have said no thanks or something of that nature. Facebook likes are cool, but it doesn't really mean anything in the term of ticket sales. We have artists with millions of streams on videos and streaming numbers that average 75 to 100 tickets per show, which is fine for those numbers, but don't translate into sales. Hence why I asked for your history. I didn't beg you for your buyer information. I'm not looking to steal your contacts. We have access to a buyer database worldwide and don't need prospective client information.
I love that. That's a professional way to handle it. I'm just, when you're reading that email, I'm getting angry because that person, whoever this person is.
Oh, but we're not done though, Cody. There's way more. He shows his whole ass.
Wow.
There's way more. There's way more. Sorry. He goes, I'm not sure why you're bad-mouthing the tour that I booked, and he lists the bands that are on the tour. I'm not trying to throw shade at all. And he's in one of the bands, too, which is funny. Of all the bands are fairly new. There isn't a lot of market history, but the bands keep the records of the shows, including the pay and the walk on their ticket sales. Plus, what does it have to do with you at all? Just because they haven't been at this a long time doesn't mean the band can't tour regardless of longevity, and it all starts somewhere. Their only way to build history to go do it either way. Either way, it seems as if you got it figured out. I'm not sure why. You need us anyway. I'm not sure why you're being so aggressive or defensive. So in 2 emails of any indication how this relationship would go. And then respectfully speaking, I don't have the time or energy to deal with this. Wishing you the best of luck. So this is where it gets funny. He fucking pops off again. No, he didn't pop off again. I finally popped off. I said, artists, I reviewed your thread. For clarity, I've been promoting your show since 96. Yeah, not 2011. Fuckhead. Asking for baseline market history is a standard questionable step for any agency or buyer that would be asking to route and price. Social media metrics or abroad claims do not replace attendance history. We were not asking you for buyer contacts, private financials, or anything that would compromise your relationships. You are free to keep that information. In this case, we are not a good fit to work together, and we will be declining to move forward. Separate the defensive and condescending tone in your replies is not acceptable in a professional booking relationship. We will no longer be engaging further. Wish you the best of luck in your upcoming shows. And then he decides to get an attitude with me, which is probably his biggest fucking mistake. I noticed you didn't ask the question he did. No sweat. I legit know you wanted my room databases, period. You know it. I know it. We all know it. Real tribute agencies have a long track record of booking tributes, which you don't have. Period. Zero results. No, nada. Since no successful tribute shows away from X's X, which also have no ticket sale history, did I ask you for proof? No, you want my room's information. I'm not dumb enough to hand it over either. That's all that was. Well, we all know the game. Well, no more to be exact the same. Disappointing. No sweat. Take care. And then Johnny, I'm not John. And then the other guy pops out to him and tells him to add more to this. Phil forwarded this to me to handle. Because, no. I said to him, to close this out, I'm closing this out. First of all, Johnny, this is what Johnny works here. Johnny represents Halo Touring in these conversations. If his questions are part of the standard intake procedure, to act us to route and price shows. Second, your accusations we wanted your rooms for database purposes are incorrect. We already have established buyer relationships, long-standing relationships that we're promoting since 96. We routinely work with the same buyers and venues and book tribute acts, regular acts, all sorts of acts. These buyers are not secret. The venue history is public. Third, we did not ask for buyer contacts. We asked for our baseline market history and paid attendance so we could route responsibly and price correctly. Social media metrics are broad claim do not replace. The attendance in a headlining package operates at the level you described, can provide the history without compromising your relationships. If we need independent verification, there are plenty public and industry resources, including Polestar, Indie on the Move, venue calendars, archive tour flyers, ticketing links, and public show history. One free professional note from someone who's been toured, who's booked tours that have grossed 6 figures in under 30 days. The fastest way to get dates built, holds placed, and terms improved is to share directional performance data, typical cap range, best markets, few recent examples. You do not need to hand over the secret buyers or treating basic marketing history. It usually slows down the routing and lowers offers and creates friction before the deals even exist. Given your tone and direction in the exchange, we're not moving forward with this. Best of luck. So Johnny pops in here and, basically explains he does this. This fucking douche nozzle pops in and says, I bet you barely read the first email. He misspells it. Johnny, your band's literally a message asking open for me. So we're good enough to ask to open for and to show the history and the venue sales. I emailed Phil and he hot potatoed it to you. And the first thing you don't even say is hello. You start the conversation. Do you have room and ticket history, bro? Come on. That's goofball dismissive. A square peg. I'm just going to skim that because he's fucking retarded. So Johnny argues them more and then he pops off with Johnny. And then I got in his ass. I said, I was like, you're done. You emailed us with let's put some shows together. We asked for standing booking qualifiers. You responded back with paranoia, ego, and accusations about taking your rooms, then tried to walk it into just trying to make an introduction. They continue to spam the thread. And here are the facts. Halo Touring primarily books rap and R&B. Johnny handles tribute and rock packages. That's why he took point. There was no hot potato. Asking for baseline marketing is normal. Room caps, what you drew. Your secret room angle is nonsense. Venue history is public. Buyers ain't some secret society. I could pull it in 10 seconds. Other bands asking to open for you is irrelevant. Nobody cares. And we're not interested. Fuck off. I don't say it like that. And then he comes back or Johnny pops in there. So I'm just trying to skim through this. I know you probably take it through this. So this is where I lose my shit because he comes back and mouths off to me and says that, Johnny, you can't be out of the tribute market with bands selling 0 tickets. The agency, we're a tribute agency. And he says, I don't know shit about tribute bands or the scene, which I don't. And then, keeps trying to drag rap and hip hop into this original bands, but that has nothing to do with tribute. Stop being annoying, Phil. And you know me pretty well, Cody.
Yep.
Here's the Phil you know and love. Ryan, you're full of shit and everybody sees it. You brag about being a global tours, Honduras, Italy, Switzerland, France, zero public evidence, concert archives, and everywhere else shows Florida bar gigs, few self-promoted sold-out House of Blues, no proof of any recorded tributes, event in Australia dates, and some Asian announcement, but not the world tour or regional hype. You claim the longest running, most successful package since 2015 says otherwise. Spare shows, big mouths. You beg us to put shows together. You throw tantrums on our basic routing, accuse us of trying to steal, attack the tribute experience, and assault everybody pivoting to just networking, pathetic entirement. Bands asked to open for you, irrelevant. Doesn't replace the data you refuse to share. You keep spamming the clear nose from both of us. It's not a hustle. It's desperate harassment. We're not booking an overhyped, underproven act, zero interest. Fuck off and stay gone. And then he kept going. All like we're not an agency, and keeps talking about Live Nation, and then it's so funny because he says, "So when we're gonna book a show, Phil? When we're gonna book a show?" And I went into the because we have GoDaddy. I went in there and I sent him one last thing, which was a block of his email, so he can't fucking email us anymore. But that's an example of what not to do in dealing with an agent, because we asked a very basic question. And this guy had the most epicest fucking meltdown ever of fuckery, which is just yeah, I don't book bands like that. I don't give a shit about tribute bands. No offense to tribute bands.
Well, clearly he hasn't worked with anyone on a professional level.
Oh, it gets better. It gets better though. Hold on. So So I go look at their fucking Facebook, right? Because he made this big post right after that happened, and he said, I really tickled his butthole. He made this. Yeah, they're doing a bunch of fucking bar shows, by the way. So he makes this big post that he posted 80 pictures. And he said, for those that here wonder how we became a band, here's some history and all that. And then he's he goes to the history of the band. He's like, we're eternally grateful of our fans and grunge fans and venues who made this possible. We should do stories from the road. Oh, he edited it because he was in there talking shit about agencies. Yeah, he edited that. But then it's funny because when you go to the comments, which killed me, because you're in a band. You guys would never fucking do this in a million years. Well, you never do any of this shit. But he made this post and he said, looking for which cities should we go to? Looking for some fans to book us, and promoters tap in and agents tap in to book us. I'm just what a fucking clown. Yeah, but, I was sitting here, because it's a Nirvana tribute band, right? And I was sitting here going holy fuck, I'm talking to Kurt Cobain himself from the grave. But that's sorry for derailing that whole thing, but that guy was just that's what you don't do. Way too much fucking ego. There was no amount of money that guy could have paid us to me want to deal with.
No, I don't blame you. And then not only that, but if you start working with people like that then when they go and meet these other people that you have relationships and that you've built, longevity business relationships with, they can go and tarnish your credibility. Maybe not, but it still kind of looks bad.
Hold on, Cody. I had this kid, this TikToker, who is a condescending cocksucker, and I've dropped him for that. But every promoter hated him. Every artist hated him. Everybody was I'll never book him again, because he was just a fucking douche to deal with. He literally told me at one of his shows, and I can't make this up, he literally told me, and this was in 2022 or 23. No, it was 23. 24. No, it was 24. He told me in 24 at one of his shows that Jelly Roll should be opening for him.
My God.
And the kid was doing 50 people. We're talking total condescending prick. He actually doxed a promoter for canceling his show because the promoter was you're just too big of a prick to deal with, and we have 20 tickets sold and it's not worth it to me. And he literally doxed the promoter for that on his TikTok.
That kind of ego too is not good. Sometimes it can be funny if you're doing it in a funny way, but obviously they're not joking around.
His career has died. He has a song. Should I say this? If he ever hears your podcast, or people do, they're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's so funny because he's released a song where he's I made a kingdom off of burnt bridges. No, you didn't. Nobody fucks with you. Yeah, it's just fucking and that's just these people get these massive egos to where they think that people care. And to be, and just talking the whole rock star band thing. to act like Ronnie Radcliffe, you need to be pulling Ronnie Radcliffe tickets in and making his agent Ronnie Radcliffe money. That's the difference. Like, Ronnie could probably shit all over his booking agent. I don't think his booking agent give a fuck. He making money hand over fist off Ronnie there.
I'm pretty sure if Ronnie wanted to, he could say, hey, if you book that band, I'm not doing business with you.
He did that to one of our bands. He told them to get him the fuck off the tour, and they took him right off the tour.
Damn.
Because he pissed off Ronnie. I mean, you know what? I'll talk some shit about Ronnie Radcliffe right now on your podcast, so buckle in. Ronnie Radcliffe's average gross box office for Failing in Reverse, that means the gross ticket sales they do is $465,000. So Ronnie Radcliffe is probably getting paid $300,000 a show.
That's fucking nuts, man. And rightfully so. The guy has earned it. I know he's got a crazy story, which I love. Like, just hearing about how he took.
I just watch him on fucking Instagram and TikTok troll the fuck out of people.
God, I love that. We are.
That's all I do. I know the God is a Weapon song. That's about it. Like, I love
that song. He's got great music. I wasn't a fan of the earlier stuff, but once he started coming out with some of the darker, more heavier stuff, then I started giving the earlier stuff a listen, and I'm like, all right, I can fuck with this. I can understand this, and I could see where he came from. We are coming to almost 2 hours, which now you hold the record of the longest podcast I've done so far, Phil. So I kind of knew that we'd have some good conversation.
Oh, yeah, the book.
Here.
Hold on. The book. So I have 2 books out that matter, because I do fiction books too that don't matter, and nonfiction. But I have 2 books that matter. The Promoter's Playbook, which is an amazing book on how to be a promoter. And then Get Book, that explains the stuff about from being an artist to examples. I mean,
and where can people find these? Do you have links?
Amazon.com. So, like, it's 145 pages. You know, one of the things in here is, and I'll just read the prologue to everybody here or thing. Why are you getting ignored? You think your problem is that nobody's heard your music. You think the right promoter heard 30 seconds of your best intro, they would get it. You picture a person on the other end of the email chain with the time to listen, time to care, time to hunt for a reason to believe in you. You assume the bottleneck is taste. That's not the bottleneck. Most of the time, you are being ignored for a simple reason. Your outreach creates work. It creates unnecessary uncertainty. It creates risk. In a business that already runs on thin margins, anything that creates more friction gets pushed aside. You're not fighting a battle of talent. You're fighting a battle of administrative fiction. Friction. Sorry, not fiction. That phrase sounds dull, which is exactly why most artists miss it. Nobody wants to believe their career is being held up by subject lines, file sizes, missing dates. People want a dramatic villain. People want the gatekeeper. People want to believe they're being judged by the purity of their art. In real life, you're being judged on how easy you are to book. The inbox problem, here is what happens when I open my email at 9 a.m. on a Tuesday. I have about 145 unread messages. The number is not special. Some weeks it's lower, some weeks it's higher. The point is this: the inbox is never empty. It's never the only problem on my desk. I have about 20 minutes before something takes priority. On a normal Tuesday, I might have to call a liquor distributor because the Friday delivery got shorted. I might have to deal with a broken HVAC unit because the room is hot and people are already complaining. I might have to answer a text from a touring manager about a hold that turned into a confirmation. I might have to call the door person who did not show up. I might have to chase an invoice. I might have to review a contract. I might have to clean up a misunderstanding between support act and the headliner's team. I might have to handle a city permit issue for a street team. I might have to calm down a sponsor who's upset about a logo placement. None of that is glamorous. It is the job. So when I open the inbox, I'm not entertaining with a sense of wonders or discovery. I'm entering with a defensive posture. I'm in triage mode. My goal is not to find the hidden genius. My goal is to reduce the unread count so I can keep the rest of my business from sliding off the table. This matters because it changes the rules of engagement.
No, that's really good advice, and I love that you broke it down like that in the details as to why. Is there anything else you want to plug before we say goodbye on here? Any links that you want people to check out?
Oh, yeah, sure. So I'll plug everything because I am that guy. So you can find me at halotouring.com is the website that we have. And then Philip Stengel Presents.com is my actual website. The easiest way to get a hold of me, honest to God, is Instagram, and that's PHILIP Stengel STENGEL on Instagram, and just follow me. I won't follow you back. I ain't following anybody. I'm an asshole. I actually am following the Amazon guy that's like, hey, put this code in, you get 50% off. That guy has earned a follow. No one else has. Fuck off. But yeah, no, that's it. You know, I mean, it's called Found It Cheaper One. That's the guy, by the way. Yeah, no, I mean, it's good, and glad you had me on here, and
But thank you for being on here.
Be sure to find us on all social media platforms, follow and subscribe.